If your low back feels weak, tired, kind of always on the verge of a spasm, and you're convinced that the muscles in your low back are just wasting away due to the years of chronic back pain that you've been battling, today's video is perfect for you. I'm gonna break down a simple 3 exercise routine that you can do that is specifically designed to target these weak, painful muscles in your low back. First exercise we're gonna focus on is just the body weight extension holds. What we're doing is building endurance back in these painful, tight, achy, yucky, atrophied muscles, right? You've been in pain for a long period of time, you've been protecting for a long period of time. We have to build up. You can't just jump back into deadlifts or bent over rows or anything like that. You have to build yourself up. So what I like to start with is a very simple approach, and that's just doing body weight holds. What I like to do is have a nice wide stance of my feet, and I'm simply going to hinge and come forward. The cool thing is this is a very beginner level of flexion, but we're focusing on a neutral spine. So what's happening is we're hinging at the hips, and our low back, our posterior chain, is having to fire. So what you're doing is you're holding this position just like this, and we're gonna hold this for an amount of seconds, and you can build up over time. From here, what we can do is we can make things a little bit more difficult. And how I like to make things more difficult is simply adding some kind of chaotic movement or some weight, something like that. So you can do this a couple different ways. One is you can hinge here, my posterior chain, my muscles that are tight and achy, I'm actually activating these muscles gently, and I can hold a weight just like this. I can put a weight in my hand and I can hold it close to my chest here, and I can make sure that I'm loading my hips, but I'm also firing these muscles. And I'm gonna slowly come back up between every 25, 30, 45 second interval. Now, to level this up, what we can do is if the weight is a little bit becoming easy, we can actually use our hands. So let's say we have our hands here, and I'm going to get into this position, my posterior chain's activated, and I'm going to simply, if this bar wasn't here, I can just do it one fluid motion, but I can bring my hands up and I can hold. So now I'm activating my upper body, my upper back, my ribs are down, I'm not flaring out, and now I'm turning into this butt out, chest out position where I'm squeezing this low back too much. Nice neutral position, my abs are engaged, and I'm gonna come up here. Simple body weight variation to activate the muscles. Now, if you have a back extension machine, this is kind of like a DIY home version, but a lot of gyms have back extension or hyperextension machines that you can buy or just go to the gym and use. I can use a bar here. Same idea, I can hold this bar here if I'm just beginning. I can hold this bar, get my feet planted, and I'm gonna just let go, and I'm gonna hold myself in this position. So I'm firing these muscles. These muscles are being activated. I'm relaxing. My abs are a little bit on here, but the primary thing I'm trying to focus on is building up tolerance to here. What we're not trying to do is push the limits, and now we're doing back extensions. We're trying to do all this extra stuff. This is beginner level stuff. If it's too much to hold, you can have 2 hands here to help support. Take one hand off, have a little bit more or less support, and you can work up to something like this. Over time, this is an exercise that you can level up. You can add more time to your holds. You can do some some hyperextensions. You can add more weight. It's a really simple way to improve the posterior chain for the first exercise. Now, at some point, these exercises will lead you to be able to get back into the gym doing the workouts that you want to do that are fun for you. But you need to make sure that what you're building for your workout is specifically designed for someone like you dealing with chronic back pain, or at least a history of chronic back pain. I actually put together a free guide that you can take home right now. Just go to fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training. It's a free guide that I've created that basically maps out exactly how you should be building out the perfect back-friendly workout, from exercise choice, exercise order, how you should be putting these things together to fit your back and its uniqueness that fits you best. Just go to fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training. It's yours free. Second most important muscle group to rebuild strength, especially if you've been dealing with chronic low back pain for long periods of time, is the lower body. Probably one of the most scariest muscle groups. Most people with herniations, bulges work because they don't want to make things worse, right? Their legs get tight, sore, that goes into their hips, goes into their low back, and now they're smoked, okay? What we're gonna do is build tolerance up. We're gonna build strength back in our legs We've been kind of neglecting them for so long because of the pain, and a great way of doing that is stability ball squats. Now what you do with this, you grab a stability ball, put it up against a wall, and we're gonna do body weight for right now. What we're gonna do, have our feet narrowed out, so we're kind of angled away, so we're kind of leaning into this ball a little bit. You will have to modify and adjust to fit kind of what feels comfortable. You'll also have to move this ball to make sure it fits where you're at and get a big enough ball to support you, okay? So from here, what we're gonna do is just body weight. We're gonna come down, we're gonna squat into the ball, and we're gonna come back up. Very simple. We're not overcomplicating things. This might be easy for you, but we're just gonna build up tolerance to this, okay? 90 degrees, coming down. The goal is to build up tolerance to come down to 90 degrees. What you don't wanna see is as you come down, your low back is rounding under the ball, right? So my butt is tucking under the ball, and then I'm coming back up. So you're going into overextension. We don't wanna do that. Spine is neutral, nice, comfortable, relax it. Let the ball do the work. Come down, relax the low back, and we're driving back up. This is the body weight version. Now, let's grab some weight. I wanna pause really quick because pain is a very complex topic. It's not just about exercise. These exercises are great for someone who's trying to build back muscle in their low back. Now, if you've tried these or are trying these and you're giving it a good, honest, consistent go, but your pain still comes back, you still are facing issues where your symptoms are on and off, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, you still feel like you're missing something, I wanna explain to you really a three-step process of looking at how to overcome chronic pain from the big picture, right? It's not just about exercise. There's more to it, and I want you to have something valuable that you can take home and really kind of dig into. Go to fitnessforbackpain.com/relief workshop. I took some time, shot a video, and mapped out what I call my STR method. It is the step-by-step process that your body and brain need to go through to overcome chronic back pain, and it's yours free. Just go to fitnessforbackpain.com/relief workshop. Let's jump back in. I got my dumbbells here. I'm just gonna hang them down by my side. Nothing is gonna change. This is just adding more load. I'm getting here, my feet are nice and stable. I'm gonna come down, neutral, and squeeze my glutes, come back up. So everything is staying in the same position. I'm super supportive. I feel it in my legs, quads, hamstrings, glutes. And I'm gonna focus on doing it to a level that I can control and not build up too much irritation. Again, we're trying to rebuild strength, rebuild ability back in these muscles that we've been neglecting because our low back pain has become so chronic over time. So this third and final exercise is really focusing on the sides, right? The lateral sides, the lateral strength. We get kind of away from this type of movement because we get stiff, right? Our QLs are locked up. They've been tight for so long. We're gonna kind of gradually build something that's the same exercise. We're gonna do it a few different ways to hopefully help you begin to build some tolerance back into these muscles, okay? So what we're gonna do is just start in a side plank. Now I'm gonna do the simplest version, which is essentially this right here. Side plank, we're gonna drop and really kind of sag a little bit, get a little bit of a stretch, okay? If it's painful, don't do it. A little bit of a stretch, over amplify that, and we're going to lift and really engage. So we're trying to push this towards the ceiling. It is not neutral anymore. I'm kind of creating a banana here, right? Push, 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 and I feel my left, I feel my QL engaging. I feel all that engaging. Make sure you're nice and neutral, you're straight. We're not hunched over like this. And we're gonna come down back into that stretch. Go slow, okay? So because you might be really tight, really achy with this exercise, just stretching and using these muscles you haven't used in a while. So go nice and slow. Lift up, push, 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 push. And obviously we're gonna do both sides. Graduating from that, we're gonna go on to actually going into our straight leg version. So from here, same idea, we're here. I like to have one foot in front of the other. We're going to sag here, get a good stretch on these muscles, and then we're going to lift. Push, 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 and we're going up, okay? Same idea, we're gonna repeat that on that level. Graduating from that, now we're gonna go to the bench. Same idea here. You can start just like this. So we're here, we're gonna get a simple sag, and then lift. This is tough. This is the more advanced version of this. And you're gonna repeat both sides. So we'll crank this out on the other side real quick. Bam. So you can start from the ground, working your way up from there. But the focus here is making sure that you're getting a good stretch here. Let it sag. Again, this is gonna be the sketchy part. If you have pain doing this, you can't do it. Even though it feels good to stretch this out, don't do it if it causes pain. From here, stretch it, and then we're gonna lift that hip. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hold it nice and tight. Slowly come out of it. Get a stretch, get a stretch, get a stretch. Then we're gonna engage, squeeze, 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 squeeze. We're building muscle, we're building stiffness back into this area. Good stiffness, not like creating more stiffness, but we're trying to activate these muscles and build strength and tolerance. Once they become more tolerant, you are activating these things, building muscle in these muscles. They will not, building strength in these muscles. They won't feel so tight and stiff when you're just kind of going around doing normal life. Key with this exercise, start small. Take your time working your way up. This might feel good because the stretch feels good. The straight leg might feel good because of the stretch, but we're not here to feel good. We're here to make sure that we're doing this progression correctly and safely. The key with these exercises is to find consistency, right? If what your pain profile needs is these exercises to build strength, build tolerance back into these muscles, and to work towards building resilience in them so that you can do all the things that you want to do. Not just work out, but do things around your house, do your hobbies, hike, bike, wrestle with your kids, whatever your goals might be, and be able to stack these stressful things onto your body without creating flare-ups. Now, if you are struggling with that, it's very common. You're not alone in this. Sometimes exercise is not the solution for people because it's not. You need more of a personalized approach. I dive deep into the strategy person by person, getting very specific with the unique strategy that someone should follow based on their pain profile. What that is basically is you are unique to you. You have a very specific pain profile that makes you operate, that creates the symptoms that you experience, and your strategy needs to be built around that pain profile. You cannot apply my pain profile or the strategies that I used to your pain profile because despite living in chronic pain and our symptoms being similar, we are very, very different. So this is what I really am able to unpack on a one-on-one basis inside of my Strength and Pain Relief Accelerator program. So if you're at a point where you feel stuck and you're like, I'm done with the medical model, I don't want to do injections, PRP, stem cell, I don't want to do chiropractors and physical therapy, I'm done with these programs. I want something that has specifically been geared towards me by someone who has been where I would have been and has seen results and can create these results in now hundreds and thousands of people all over the world. If that's you and you're serious about getting help, let's have a basic live conversation. You can go to fitnessforbackpain.com/apply. That'll give me some information regarding your background, but it'll also give us an opportunity to have a live conversation around where you are and what you're struggling with to see if what I do can actually help. Just go to fitnessforbackpain.com/apply, grab a time for us to chat, and we can discuss whether or not what I do can actually help you. Thanks for watching. God bless, and I will see you on the next episode.